Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. We're back with another Minecraft video. As I mentioned earlier in my last Minecraft video, I said I was gonna build a school, and I'm already fulfilling that promise because I've always been good with my promises. You know, like in the GTA 5 video, the last time I did it, I promised you that I would start doing some weather forecast videos, and a few days later I fulfilled that promise. So now the promise is being fulfilled. We're building some swimming pools, and actually we haven't built a swimming pool yet. And here's the name for the high school: Drury Meadows High School, home of the I'm trying to come up with the name for the school mascot. I already created a poll for it, so you can vote for the mascot of the school with 4 choices that you could choose from. All right, we're about to build the locker rooms and the bathrooms. Alright. Along with that, we will build a swimming pool to serve the students' need of learning how to swim, cause I don't want these kids to drown and die when they're out in the ocean or out in the pool. Alright. What's been going on in real life? In sports, there's nothing relevant in basketball to talk about, so we'll jump right ahead into the NFL. Alright. There was a lot to talk about about the draft that took place a couple of months ago. But we'll talk about it right now. Continuing to talk about the draft, a bunch of defensive players got drafted, including some defensive tackles, linebackers, defensive ends, and it's a lot. 2 picks after Josh Allen, who was taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars, there was Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle out of Houston, who got drafted by the Buffalo Bills. And there's lots of other players in the draft that I like to mention right here, so we'll continue on. The 15th overall pick, Dwayne Haskins, was selected by the Washington Redskins. A bunch of teams missed out on him, including the New York Giants, the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Giants saw it as the Redskins saw it as a chance to take Dwayne Haskins, 15th overall, and they did. The Vikings drafted a center so they could fix their awful offensive line, which was the reason why Kirk Cousins failed in Minnesota in 2018, although his stats are pretty decent. But in truth, he's just nothing but average at best. I think the Vikings won't do so well this year, because they still have a ways to go, even though they drafted an offensive lineman who was a center. 2 picks after the Vikings, there was a guy who was in trouble a couple years back of a video of him engaging in an altercation with his family in Mississippi. Although the video was what came out a couple years ago, in the draft, they decided to bring it up because they wanted to bring up his past rather than talk about his college football career. But no matter what he's done, he should fare well with the Tennessee Titans, who drafted him 19th overall. And then later in the first round, the Baltimore Ravens took Marquise Brown, the cousin of none other than Antonio Brown, who was with the Raiders. Like Antonio, Marquise is a receiver, and he is from the University of Oklahoma, just like Kyler Murray, who was taken first overall. Yeah, the reason they drafted him was because, well, the Ravens need a receiver for their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, to throw his pass at. Although he is both quarterback and running back, the Ravens are trying to make him throw since he is their quarterback, and if he can't throw, then who's gonna fix him? Yeah, if he can't throw, the Ravens would fail. Yeah, it's just my opinion. Alright, the last person to be selected in the first round, the 32nd overall pick by the Patriots, N'Keal Harry, out of Arizona State University, also a receiver. Yeah, although the Patriots did win Super Bowl 53, they still need to reload Tom Brady's weapons. They still have Julian Edelman, but he still needs receivers who he can also throw to. Alright. Other people selected in the second round included A.J. Brown, who should be Marcus Mariota's weapons with the Tennessee Titans. And in that same round, the Cleveland Browns took Greedy Williams out of LSU. He should complement well with the defensive end Myles Garrett. Now that the Vikings, now that the Browns are about to become the Nets' new good team, they should compete for the next couple of years with Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jarvis Landry, and many others to name. Alright, we're building some bathrooms, and of course, I put up no smoking, no vaping, and yes, no juuling. Juuling's been a new thing, and I've seen kids do that in my school's bathrooms. Yeah, I would always come back to my class laughing about it, cause yeah, I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of that trend. You see why I'm laughing about it? It's ridiculous how it's getting popular with kids. Alright, here is the gym with the basketball court. Alright. Nothing fancy, but it's just what it is. We got the locker rooms here that are built for the gym program of the school. And we also got the cafeteria that we'll show you in just a sec. Alright. Here are the lunch tables and the lunch counters. Alright. About the Bears draft picks, since I want to talk about my hometown team, they drafted a running back to to compensate for the loss of Jordan Howard, who we traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. We also drafted a receiver in Riley Ridley and 3 more other people in the draft. We didn't draft too many people, but we got just what we needed to upgrade Mitch Trubisky's weapons. Alright, and that's pretty much all I could say about the draft, but although there's some honorable mentions I like to give. Alright, we're heading to the auditorium now, and you'll get to look at it. I hope you'll like it from here. There's lots of players who deserve an honorable mention. Andre Dillard out of Washington State, who got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round. And he should fit in well with the Eagles' newer and up-and-coming offensive line. Andre Dillard is an offensive tackle. He's playing left, and he should provide protection for their quarterback, Carson Wentz, who has been injury-prone for the past 2 years, which caused Nick Foles to come into the fold and led the team to their first Super Bowl championship in 2017. And the following year, Wentz got injured again and had to be replaced by Nick Foles once again. Now that Nick Foles is gone, Carson Wentz is set to be their Nets' new quarterback, their franchise quarterback. He's got other weapons as well, including Zach Ertz, the tight end, and Alshon Jeffrey, who has some butterfingers. Alright. TJ Hawkinson, the tight end for the Detroit Lions. I'm not sure how well will he do with the Lions and Matthew Stafford, but I just want to throw him in because Iowa had 2 tight ends that were drafted this year. And of course, I'll have to mention Noah Fant, who was drafted by the Denver Broncos in the first round. He is freakishly athletic. He should fit in well with the Broncos too. 2 Devons were also drafted, including Devin White, who was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a linebacker out of LSU and should fare well with the Bucks. The other Devin is Devin Bush from Michigan, who he should complement JJ Watt's brother TJ in their defense. Okay, that's all I could say about the draft. Moving forward, we've had training camps. All teams had their training camps, and the Giants' training camp was a train wreck. Most of the receivers have been injured, and one of them is already suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. So this year's season for the Giants is already turning out to be a disaster. I'm laughing at how a train wreck the Giants are becoming now. Oh yeah, Daniel Jones. He didn't do so well with in training camp. He threw incomplete passes and an interception. So I bet OBJ is laughing, cause now that he's with the Browns, I bet he's lucky that he's no longer with that train wreck team. Yeah. So the Giants have now become a team that I can laugh at. You see? That's why I'm laughing. There have been players who have held out of training camp, including Ezekiel Elliott, who is said to be in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico, to miss out on training camp because he wants a new deal in which he could be the highest paid running back in the league. Todd Gurley is currently the highest paid running back in the league, although his career could potentially get ruined by his arthritis, which is unfortunately incurable, so that could ruin his career. Not to mention that Saquon Barkley, the running back for the Giants, is also one of the best running backs in the league. So, when asked about the situation, the Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said that they don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl. I guess that's wrong, cause they had Emmitt Smith, who took them to 3 Super Bowl victories in the 1990s. Alright, we have the arena that's turned into a WWE arena, and here we have WWE SmackDown right here. Alright, and let's go check out the stadium. This stadium is being used for rugby, and in fact, football grew out of rugby. Rugby originated in England in the 1800s, and that inspired football to be invented in the late 1860s, and that's pretty much history. Okay, back to the football talk. For those of you who don't know, Emmitt Smith was a running back for the Cowboys from 1990 to 2003, and was part of the Cowboys dynasty during the 1990s. He is the all-time rushing leader in rushing yards, ahead of Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, and Jim Brown. Alright, there have been other players who have been holding out as well, including Melvin Gordon, the running back for the Los Angeles Chargers. Like Zeke, he wants a new deal, and apparently he wants to get traded in case they don't give him a new deal. Not only have running backs been holding out of training camp, but one receiver from the Saints, Michael Thomas, also held out. And just recently, he signed a big contract, a 5-year, $100 million contract, making him the highest paid receiver in the league, along with Julio Jones of the Falcons. And that's it. We had the NFL Top 100 list that came out this past week. There's a lot of players in the top 100 to name, so I'll talk about that in the next gaming video. Alright. Enough with the sports talk. The script for the Nets short film is complete. Filming should begin around August, late August. The video should be released in September, hopefully. Alright. And I have a couple short films that are being planned for for the end of this year and 2020. So stay tuned for more information on that stuff. Alright guys, we're back in my village and in my beautiful home. Okay guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.